On this episode of The Walking Dead, the season finale, the governor attacks the prison, massacres his own people, and turns on Andrea. And is Carl losing it? On this episode of The Walking Dead. Hey guys, welcome to the show where we talk about TV shows. And in this episode, we're talking about the season finale of The Walking Dead. I'm going to walk you through the most important moments that happened in The Walking Dead. One of the best moments in this episode to me was when the governor turned Milton on Andrea. And then he stabs him and he falls to the ground and he whispers a few nasty words in his ears, telling him that he's going to turn because he didn't kill Andrea when he had the chance. He's gonna die as a zombie and kill her as a zombie. And those are the last words he hears. The next crazy moment was when we see Andrea handcuffed to the chair and we see Milton's bloody hands start to move. You're like, that's it. He's turned. What is Andrea gonna do? The next crazy moment was when the governor attacked the prison. I mean, we see explosion after explosion. They came in there with like a massive army. You know, at some point I was like, it's good that Rick left, even though we know that Rick and the crew didn't leave the prison. But I thought they did, and I was like, it's a good thing they did because they can't take on these people. These guys come in with like a massive like truck and start shooting up the place. And where do they get these bombs from? But they're lured into the prison slowly but surely. A booby trap is set for them, and everyone starts to run out and leave. But before we end this moment, what I loved about it was the open Bible that was left for Governor, with the biblical verse that talks about the good people who are going to have good lives when they die, and the bad people who will suffer at the end of life after they die. I just thought that was kind of cool, even if you're into religion or not. I mean, it was just an interesting play on the governor. And the next OMG moment was when the governor turns on his own people. He stops them in the middle of the way as they're leaving the prison. He gets out and tells them, "Why did you leave?" And they're like, "Listen, governor, we don't do this, zombie stuff. We're not fighting that stuff." And then the governor, you just see in slow motion his eyes, his face. And then he just pulls out his rifle and just massacres everybody. That was when we knew the governor is really dangerous. I mean, I didn't get it throughout the whole season, but now we know. The next crazy moment was when Carl talked to his father, Rick. As we know, the setup of this was that Carl killed that kid in the woods for no reason. The kid was going to give him his gun, but Carl still killed him anyway. And Rick has this talk with Carl, telling him, did you have to do this? But Carl tells him, I did what I had to do. And he gives him these serious words, and he kind of throws it in Rick's face, telling him that everyone he's let go has eventually come back and harmed their people. So it is kind of like, you see like Carl kind of becoming similar to the governor. The governor was like kill or die, and now Carl is kind of like kill or die. And now we see Rick, who's kind of like rose above all that, and now is kind of coming back down to his old Rick and being calm and trying to figure out how to get out of problems. The next crazy moment was when Andrea was found with a gash on her neck as Rick and the crew come and find her. I would have liked to see it if they had opened up the doors and all you saw was like Milton and Andrea, a zombie. But tell me you didn't think Andrea was gonna make it, because I thought Andrea could never die. After what happened at the end of season 2 and she came out of that, I'm thinking she's gotta get out of this. And if Glenn got out of fighting that zombie, the time when the governor, or the time when Merle, left him in the room and handcuffed him, he got out of that. I'm thinking Andrea can definitely get out of this, but she doesn't. She has a big gash, and she just tells them that she'd rather kill herself. And a gunshot goes off and she takes her own life. Those are the crazy moments. I'm gonna leave you with this question. Think about what Carl said to Rick, and think about Rick's new outlook about everything. About helping people, about having a democracy again, about bringing those people from Woodbury into the prison. And then think about Carl's perspective and the governor's perspective about kill or die, and whose outlook and perspective do you agree with? Carl or Rick? Let me know in the comments below. Who won this episode? To me, Rick won the episode because we finally see him go back to the way he was. Now it's a democracy. He brings back the people from Woodbury into the prison, so he cares for them, so he has that empathy. And finally he stops seeing visions of Lori, which make him normal again. The person who I thought lost this episode was the governor. Despite his massive attack on the prison, I really feel that he lost because he lost it. When you lose it like that, I feel like the governor is losing it the way Rick lost it at one point, and then he massacres his own people. Who do you think won or lost the episode? Let me know in the comments below. Alright guys, make sure you subscribe to get more recaps and discussions on awesome television shows here on YouTube. See you guys soon.